What's up, tribe? How you guys doing? Go ahead and hit that subscribe button. I hope you like this video. This is Ready to Love season 4 episode. I'll have it correct in the description box because y'all know they got these. It's labeled all crazy, but we are here. The ladies are in charge. It is a ladies' week, and they switched up a little bit. Instead of them meeting at the ladies' lounge, they met at Tommy's house. It's a beautiful home. You know, Tommy, his wife showed up, color coordinated, honey. I said, I know that's right. When you can be with somebody for 20 something years and y'all still be, color coordinated and wearing matching outfits. Listen, my parents be doing that stuff sometimes when we go on vacation, and I be like, all right, whatever. Like, what you gonna say? What you gonna say? Like, y'all have fun with that. But anyway, the ladies are in charge, and let me say this. This whole episode is very produced. And what I mean by that is, yes, we're creating a show. Yes, the show is produced. But this whole episode was some unrealistic stuff. So the assignment is, last week the ladies met, some of the guys' friends, right? So I'm thinking that that's what they're going to do this week. They're just going to flip the script a little bit. Oh, but he put a little stank on it. Instead of them meeting their friends, they got to meet one of their exes. Now, I think this is a ridiculous exercise, because there are some people whose exes they are really, really cool with. There are some people who have, exes that they just not good at all. Then there's some people who are just indifferent in any way, indifferent. Now, for most of us, and I'm going to go out on a limb when I say that, correct me in the comments, for most of us, my ex don't have nothing to do with my current situation. And there's a reason why me and him didn't work out. So I don't want him giving advice to the person I'm currently dating about anything that happened in our relationship. Because it's a different relationship and it's different people. And what I did with this person, which clearly didn't work out, may or may not be something that works for the other person. But whatever, we're going to do it. So first we have Kyra meeting up with Joelle and her ex. I'm sorry, I said Kyra. I'm sorry, I meant Vernisha, child. The whole Kyra thing last week. Vernisha. Now, Vernisha seems to have a pretty decent relationship with her ex. I mean, he ain't seem to be excited to be there, but he didn't seem to be reluctant either. And then we have Chris, Alicia, Amber, and her ex. Now, no, actually, I'll rewind. We don't get to Chris yet. We get to Alexis, her ex, and Ron. So let me knock out Joelle and Vernisha first. So here's the other part that I felt was very produced. Last week, the ladies knew that they were going to meet the friends of these guys. They were ready for it. They prepared. They were mentally ready, to put on their good foot. This week, not only are we meeting the exes, the guys don't know. So they show up for a date with the person that they're dating, and boom, it's another dude sitting there who they don't know. They don't know why he there. They don't know nothing about it, and then find out, oh, it's the ex. Again, not even a realistic situation, but whatever. Again, we're going to go with it. So Joel, he handles it pretty good. They're having a good conversation. And then he sort of flips the script a little bit. And he's like, well, would you call her a very controlling person? Because, that's his big issue from last week, that, controlling. And he was, her ex was like, no, not really. And then she said, well, my biggest issue is that we have a communication problem. And so Joel was like, well, give me an example. And she said, well, we were supposed to go to dinner. You had some things to do. You said you were going to call me when you were done, and then we would go to dinner. Well, I never heard from you. I called you, and your response to me was, well, when you didn't hear from me, you should have known that meant we weren't going to dinner. In what universe does that add up? That is not 2 plus 2 equaling 4. That is 2 plus 2 equaling 6. We missing a 2 in there somewhere. There's no assumption to that. If you got caught up with your kids, that's understandable. If you got caught up running errands, that's understandable. If something happened, that is understandable. Life happens. But you know what? This technology these days is just perfect. It is just perfect, okay? We got these things called smartphones. Even if you didn't have the time, energy, or you wanted to call me and say, hey, girl, I got caught up doing some things. I'm not gonna be able to make dinner. My bad. I'll make it up to you later. You could have left a voice message. You ain't even gotta call me if you don't even want to have a conversation. You could send me a text. Okay, there are a lot of different things that you could have done, but for you to assume that, I'm going to assume that just because you said that you would hit me up when you got done running your errands, and it's now 7, 8 o'clock at night, and I ain't heard from you, that my assumption would be that we not going. No, my assumption is going to be that you standing me up, and that this is some rude shit. That's what my assumption is going to be. But the ex kind of played the middle and was like, well, I could see both sides, and help them understand. And Joelle was like, you right, I could have handled that better. You right, I could. But my thing is, why somebody got to tell you that? Why somebody got to tell? Then we got Ron, Alexis, and her ex. And she didn't have her ex-husband. She had the boyfriend before the ex-husband. So we reached way back. But we found out that he actually not only he decided to dedicate his life to God. So we're seeing that Alexis, as much as she flirty and always talking about sex and stuff, she very much has a relationship with God, right? Because not only was she married to a pastor, the man before him was a man of God. So this is something that's very important to her and her spirituality. Well, what we find out is that Ron is not that dude. Ron is very much, hold on, let me turn my ring off, chat. Ron is very much not that dude. You know what I'm saying? He said that he's been burnt by religion. He's not really into organized religion, and he's not the kind of person to prey on stuff. He's the kind of person that when something happens, he goes out, he takes care of it. He don't think that God is going to help him get through it. And Alexa's ex-boyfriend told her, y'all got some stuff to talk about, because that's a problem. Like, there's some things that we can work on. There's some things that we don't have to be in sync on. But, I mean, Alexis, that's biblical. Like, I ain't even no biblical scholar, but I know that we got to be evenly yoked. And if you are a woman of God and this is very important to you, and here's a man who not only saying, listen, this is not something that I subscribe to, he's very flippant about your belief. Like, I don't know if that's something you want to step into. And I feel like Alexis, it was giving her something to think about. She was kind of like, I don't know about this. So then we have Chris, Amber, and her ex-boyfriend, and I believe Jason, Kyra, and Kyra's ex. Now, Kyra was like, listen, I ain't even in the best place with this dude, but I guess I got to find somebody so he'll do. Okay? He wasn't even there in person. They were on like a Skype. I guess he's, doesn't live in the area or whatever. And so we had, so Chris and Amber had a good conversation. Chris wants a lot of kids, and Amber says she wants to be a mom. So they, once again, they're in sync with that. And Chris said, he kept picking up vibes that it was something that wasn't being said. And they kept talking in like these riddles, like, well, there were some things that were obstacles to our relationship. And when I found out some things, it just was going to be a problem for our relationship. And I kept waiting, and I was like, so did he cheat on you? Did he, I don't know. Come to find out, he expressed to her that he was into guys. So I don't know if he identifies as bisexual or just gay, but that clearly was the end of that relationship. And Amber was like, she said that conversation with Chris actually helped them, or helped her sort of work through some things. But I mean, she good. Like, she ain't trying to be best friends with him. She ain't trying to, but it did help her sort of come to a conclusion. And of course, Chris was like, oh, okay. Because I think Chris thought maybe there was still something between them, maybe. Like that, maybe there was still some lingering things or whatever. Then we had Jason, like I said, Jason and Kyra in his situation. Well, what we found out from this is that Kyra is very much a person that, is good to hold on, is good for holding on to stuff, doesn't really express when she's, like very expressive about when she's upset about something or when something is bothering her. And she ain't the best with her finances. from what he's saying is like she makes money and she lives within, she spends what she makes, but she's not good at budgeting, saving, that kind of thing. And I was like, and it sounded like the way he said it and made it a point, maybe that was like a point of contention in their relationship. Like, I don't know. So then we have this whole product placement moment, which again, I ain't mad about it, y'all. It happens all the time in TV shows. But we had this whole Seagram situation where the ladies met up at Kyra's spa, had to have a spa day, and she had a bartender there that was making them drinks with these Seagram, coolers. Now, personally, I ain't never seen nobody use a Seagram's cooler to make another drink, but I guess it happens, girl. It is what it is. The only thing that really kind of went down with that was, Miss Liz wanted she took her drink that was a little bit of David, and then she also took herself another drink, a little bit of Jason, and Kyra was giving her the side eye like, girl, don't mess with my man. So here was a very interesting situation. We have Liz and her ex. Now let me tell y'all something. I don't know what didn't work out between Liz and her ex, but baby, that man looked like a nice cool drink of water. Okay? He was giving me salt and pepper zaddy vibes. Okay? I was here for the ex. Like I said, I don't know why it didn't work out. I don't know what he did. He might have cheated on her, honey. I don't know what it was. But baby, now, we found out something that I don't know if I picked up on it last week or not. It might have happened and went over my head, but Liz is in her feelings a little bit because she said that it seems like David is hung up on this kiss that she gave to Jason. She said, I told him about the kiss because I wanted to be honest with him. I didn't want him to be blindsided with it, but it seems like now he's sort of holding that over my head, and he's sort of turning that into like a issue between us. So she's telling her ex about it, and that's when Jason rolls up. Now, let me say this again. Jason is taken aback because he's like, I done rolled up. I don't know who this dude is and why he's here. And then, of course, once they get introduced or whatever, now he's even more like, okay, well, what he doing here? Now, Liz's ex came at him out the gate and was like, well, I ain't want to beat around the bush, so, I just want to say, Liz expressed to me that you kind of blurted blurted some stuff out, and it bothered her, and it kind of made her feel some kind of way. So, what's up with that? Now, I'm going to be honest with y'all. I ain't crazy about David at this point, but I wasn't mad at David for feeling some kind of way because I feel like that dude came out real strong. Like, dude, I don't even know you. Not only do I not know you, I didn't know you was going to be here. Not only did I not know you was going to be here, who the hell are you to be questioning me about what I did between me and the woman that I'm trying to get to know? I don't know you. I don't know you like that. So this turned into like a whole situation where Liz now is like, well, yeah, I did feel like, you were kind of like, holding that over my head and making me feel some kind of way. So David sort of, he apologized and he was like, I'm sorry, that wasn't my intention, yada, yada, yada. Then he was like, well, can I ask a question? So he's going to ask them, well, when's the last time y'all were intimate? First of all, that's really not your business. Second of all, Liz is celibate. Now, she didn't say she was a virgin, but she did say she was celibate. So it don't matter when the last time she was intimate with him, you ain't getting nothing. So he was like, well, we might have kissed like years ago. Like, it's been a long time. And, and so, of course, here we go with this whole kiss thing again. So now Liz is realizing, okay, he's in his feelings about this whole kiss situation. And that's where all of this is coming from because, he been acting real funny with me ever since that whole situation went down. He been acting real funky. So, he ends up leaving. And, of course, Liz is sitting there now like, kind of in her feelings a little bit about the situation. Okay. So, is that everybody? I feel like that's everybody. Okay. So then we have this double date situation with Jason and Liz and Alexis and AJ, because AJ is sort of in that bubble right now where he's not really anybody's number one, so he didn't do the whole meet the ex situation. He wasn't involved in that. And so Alexis is, talking to them, and she's feeling some kind of way. She in her feelings, because she doesn't really necessarily know where she stands with Ronald, because that whole situation sort of made her feel some kind of way. And she wants to be, and the other thing about Miss Alexis is she wants to be everybody's number one, but you got 2 or 3 of them. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, AJ did what AJ does. He trying to solidify his spot, because he realized he on the bubble. He ain't stupid. He know I ain't met nobody. I ain't meet no exes. Damn, I ain't nobody's number one. So he gonna lean over and kiss her and, hit her with the, so does that tell you something? Does that let you know where you are and how I feel? No, it don't. Then Jason kisses Liz again, child. Okay, so now Liz, because Liz, I'm sure, is feeling, I don't know the sequence of these dates, okay? I'm assuming that they're going in the order they're showing us, but neither here nor there. Liz don't know where she's staying with David at this point, and so she still got Jason in her back pocket. And AJ don't know where he's staying with Kyra, so he's trying to put Alexis in his back pocket, and that's kind of where we are with this whole situation, people. So now we back at Tommy's house, and we are deliberating. And I'm going to tell you, one of the most important things that came out of that conversation was when Alexis was letting them know how things went with Ron as far as, the spirituality and stuff. And Tommy said, the first thing I did, or the first thing we did when we bought this land, we had family and friends come over so we could bless it. Because we knew that God brought us through this. He said, the reality is this is going to be a conversation that y'all are going to have every Sunday. Y'all going to come back to this every Sunday. So you need to make a decision on how you feel and what's important to you. And she was like, you right. And so they kind of went around the table with, you know how they do. So then he says, today, who would you go home with? Today, who would it be? And, of course, Renisha said Joel. Amber said Chris. Kyra said Jason. Liz said Jason. Alexis said she ain't know. So with that being said, what I thought was very interesting was Ron and David are the 2 that end up having a conversation with the ladies and not AJ. So AJ is not up for elimination, at least the way it seems. And Alexis goes to, who was talking to Ron? Was it Alexis? It might have been Alexis to talk to Ron. And Liz went to go talk to Jason. And Liz is trying to talk to, David. And Liz is trying to talk to David. And I feel like David knew that this was the elimination conversation. And so he was just not here for it. He kept cutting her off. He wouldn't let her finish talking. He was like, I want to say something. And she was like, but I really need you to hear what I have to say. I really need you to hear me out. And it just was starting to get a little heated. It was starting to get a little elevated. They weren't sitting down. Both of them had stood up. And that's where it ended. So there was no elimination. It was to be continued till next week, child. Anyway, that's what it was. Y'all let me know what y'all think. Drop it in those comments, please.